2026 meeting. Welcome to the council, and we are going to start tonight, and Councilwoman Lake will lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Faulkner has agreed to lead us in the prayer tonight.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you, and I thank you for the opportunity to say this prayer this evening. Father, I thank you for being part of Howard County, and I pray that the people of Howard County will be blessed in many ways. Thank you for the blessings you give us, and thank you for the opportunities you give us. Father, help us to make wise and insightful decisions, and help us to act responsibly all the time. Help us to glorify you. Father, I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Frank. So then our next order of business is to open the meeting and approve the minutes from our February 24th, 2026 meeting. Those were circulated in your packets. Are there any questions, comments, or discussion on the minutes?
Mr. President, I move we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All right, motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Faulkner and Councilman Sanders. All those in favor of approval of the minutes from our February meeting, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Okay, that takes us to our next order of business, which will be additional appropriations for this month. Madam Auditor. Oh, okay, so before she reads, thank you. So in this additional appropriations that were circulated in your packet, there is three different categories. There are some for January, some for February, and some for March. The auditor did her job and advertised everything properly on the sites and where they need to be advertised. But the state changed how they wanted things advertised through Gateway, which is the site the state uses. And so they required that we have to put those on Gateway to be advertised. Unfortunately, they didn't open that up until the month of March, so we were playing a 2-month catch-up. So in the packet, we have January and February's additional appropriations that were approved and advertised correctly. We're not going to read them off. We're just going to move on. This way they're advertised on the site, and then we will handle the March additional appropriations after that.
Okay. Ordinance number 2026-HCCO 11, additional appropriations. Where it's been determined that it's now necessary to appropriate more money than was appropriated in the 2026 annual budget. Now therefore be it ordained by the County Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for the expenses of the taxing unit, the following additional sums on money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named and for the purposes specified, subject to the laws governing the same. County General, Sheriff Task Force, $8,000. Probation Officer, reduction $9,611. Total County General Fund, reduction $1,611. Community Corrections, 2024 Fund, Full-Time Detention Officer, $6. Drug Screen Supplies, $100. Drug Screen Supplies Work Release, reduction $106. Rental lease fees, $14,153. Total Community Corrections Fund, $14,153. Local Public Health Services Fund, Program Partner Supplies, $5,000. Discretionary, $20,000. Total Local Public Health Services Fund, $25,000. Lit Public Safety, PSAP Fund, Dispatcher reduction, $31,560. FICA reduction, $2,414.34. Perf reduction, $1,893.60. Insurance reduction, $23,699. Total lit public safety PSAP fund reduction $59,566.94. Statewide 911 fund, dispatch training coordinator, $38,153.84. FICA, $2,918.77 per 5,418. Insurance, $23,699. Total statewide 911 fund, $70,189.61. Lit Correctional Facilities Fund, care of individuals, $600,000. Total Lit Correctional Facilities Fund, $600,000. Adult Probation Case Manager Fund, probation officer, $9,611. Total Adult Probation Case Manager Grant Fund, $9,611. Total additional appropriations for all funds, and this includes January and February and March, $8,401.82, or $82.87.
Good catch. Okay, with that, looks like our first presenter's ready to go. Sheriff Asher, good evening, welcome.
Got a lot of business to go through. Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing?
Doing well.
Looks like the first order of business for me is the County General Fund Sheriff Task Force Fund 23501. We have a forfeiture account at the prosecutor's office, so we're asking for an additional appropriation of $8,000, but that's where that money comes from, is the forfeiture account at the prosecutor's office. So yes, it's an additional appropriation, but that's where we draw that money down from. Any questions on that, as far as that goes?
So
So-
he, oh, go ahead, John.
Go ahead,
No, you
please.
go, you go ahead.
So the prosecutor turns the money into the general fund, and you're going into the general fund to get it, and it's
I
just
think
a
we
lien.
have to, and somebody correct me,
It's the
Stephanie,
law
how would we
enforcement
go
fund.
about that? Basically, we're asking for that prosecutor's office would then send it to the general fund, and then we're drawing that $8,000 down. Is that how that works? I know that's where the money comes from,
Mm-hmm.
is from that forfeiture account at the prosecutor's office.
Isn't that the law enforcement fund where they like have guns and drugs and cars and whatever? that
Yeah,
they-
forfeiture account that they have
Right.
there, yes,
Okay.
yes. Not positive how that comes from the prosecutor's office, but that's where it's coming from. So it's technically not coming out of the general fund, but that's where we have to, that's where we would get it from, is fund, line item 23501.
Thank you. I got
I
it.
think,
Yeah.
Looks like the next order I have is, we made a request of the PAC. We had a PAC committee, I think it's going on about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, possibly, something like that. Had a PAC meeting. We're asking for an additional position in dispatch for a dispatch training coordinator. So I received information, and maybe somebody from the PAC would want to speak on this. We have 24 full-time members in dispatch. It looks like the recommendation was to not add the 25th person, but basically, we're reducing the total number of dispatchers to 23, and then adding the training coordinator, which would be back to 24.
Correct.
Frank, is that clear as mud?
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about.
So it looks like a reduction out of 1170 of 59,566.94, so reduction out of there. And then an additional out of the state 911 fund, 1222 of 70,189.61.
I think we said also, if you get the 23 dispatchers, come back and see us if you need
Yes.
the 24th.
Yeah, and I also think that it's a, almost a cost neutral advancement, because the money just shifted from the dispatch to the new position, plus a small advancement, I think, for the,
The difference in pay.
Difference
So
in
there's a little
pay.
bit difference between the 70,189 and
Yeah.
the 59,566. And I believe, I looked a little bit ago, the unappropriated amount in that account's a little bit over $2 million. So we're drawing down the additional appropriation out of that account.
So you have 23 positions. You don't have that many actual dispatchers? do
Not
you?
right at the moment. We
How many
don't.
do you have?
I think, are we 4 short before I speak to that?
We have 2 in training right now, so we are 3 short.
3 short,
We have 2 in training, so
yeah.
if they make it through, we'll still be 3 short. If they don't make it through, we'll be 5 short.
Okay.
Yes,
Now, this training coordinator, this person would dispatch also, right, and train, is that correct? Or just train?
This person would be responsible, or have responsibilities in every facet. So they would be responsible to be a full functioning dispatcher in the case that we need them to be. So they would be responsible to know how to use all of our systems, be able to work alongside everybody on the floor. But their main focus and main job is going to be revamping the training program, training new hires, keeping up on continuing education, quality assurance, things of that nature.
Okay.
Brian, that's what I was gonna say.
Just like that, right?
Just like that, just exactly.
It's good to have good people.
It is, it is. Any questions on that? Like I said, I don't know if anybody from the PAC, we got a favorable recommendation from the PAC committee for that issue. And last but not least, and I apologize for this because I thought it was gonna be on the next month. I didn't realize we got it in on time for the LIT 1233 Correctional Facilities Fund, Care of Individuals. Does everybody get, once a week, Captain Deckard sends our attorney for the lawsuit a weekly total from the week prior? Does anybody else get that? I think John Roberts
I do.
gets it.
Yes.
Pam Schieneman is our attorney, so we send that, we are required to send that to her. Does anybody else receive this? No, so I think we'll talk to her about maybe just sending it out directly to everybody on the council so that you can see the numbers as well. But basically, it's a population analysis by sex, 3/8/2026 to 3/14/2026. So it gives a daily breakdown of how many females we have, how many males we have, and gives you the average daily population of that day. So once a week, like I said, we send that, then every 90 days, we send a detailed, a little more detailed list to our attorney for the lawsuit. So during this time period, 3/8 through 3/14, we were anywhere from 356 inmates. It spiked at 375 inmates during that week's time. So in doing so, our agreement is to stay at 292 people inside the facility. That means we're moving so many people out. Cass County is where we send most of ours. As of today, we have 74 housed outside of the county. 74 individuals housed outside the county. The number this morning was somewhere around, I thought, 355, because luckily we did send 10 to DOC this morning, so our current count is 345. 345 inmates total. Like I said, we were up a little bit. We did transport 10 down to DOC, so that helps. So if you kind of add that up, that's about an average of about 50 inmates at Cass County per day. $40 per inmate, that's $2,000 a day, with a total of about $62,000 a month that we're getting a bill for housing these inmates out. That was a long way of saying, like I said, if I'd have realized, I realized a couple hours ago that this was on the agenda today. So we are asking for an additional appropriation of $600,000 to go into our Care of Individuals account to cover those inmates that we house outside.
Sheriff, I know last year we did the same thing. I think it was 500,000.
Yes.
About the same time, maybe it was April or
Yeah.
something. Wonder if that's something that maybe in budget we need to add a little bit, because until we get this new jail,
Yeah,
we're gonna keep doing this.
Yeah,
I think
you're right,
McKinsey
Brian,
might
I
have
think we
said
overlooked
that. Just saying.
What's that?
I said, I think McKinsey might have said that somewhere around that time period, so you just perked her right up. But yes, I think if we look at the total, I could sit down with Angie, because we're getting ready to start doing the budget for next year anyways. try to get a better account of what we're gonna spend out, and then try to just ask for it at budget time and try to build it into that.
And it feels like you guys have done a lot of math to figure out that this will carry you pretty close to the end of the year. Does
Yes.
that sound right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Angie kinda gave me that number. Hopefully that 600,000 will do that.
Plus, we already had some in there to start with.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did.
And we still get, and I can't remember for sure how much, but money from DOC, because we're holding some of the state
Yes.
inmates here, right? I
Yes.
mean, that is something that kind of works the same, but not really, okay? I
Yeah.
just feel like we need to remember that we do have some
There
revenue
is
coming in.
there is some revenue coming back from the state for holding DOC inmates, yes. Anything past 5 days, we can bill the Department of Corrections for housing those, so. That offsets us a little bit, it doesn't feel that way, but there is a little offset,
Right,
so.
they've been kind of jumping around with that a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Are you still getting delayed payments from Department of Corrections?
I think
Or
we're up
are
to
you
date. That was
doing
a
pretty
definite
good on that?
problem, but I think we're up to date, yeah.
Okay.
There was several counties that I saw through the sheriff, we have a listserv, a distribution list, and I think everybody's now getting caught up, so it's not near as a problem as it was, so. But we've been getting regular payments from DOC. I think that's all I have.
Any other questions for Sheriff Asher?
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you.
Sheriff.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Community Corrections, Ms. Stephanie.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
So all of my stuff is just to match the DOC budget and, or grant and, the county's budget. So, I'm not asking for anything additional. It's just to make sure that our, we're using our grant funds as they have been given to us, so.
Yeah, it looks like just a little bit of mismatching, moving some things around. A lot of the numbers are the same for the most part, making your grants match. Any questions for Stephanie on that?
How do you feel about the budget in your area, in the community corrections area with everything? Are you a little nervous about all of it? Because I know,
We're working through it, obviously in grant writing time and those types of things. So I'm really looking at our budget and writing it for what it looks like next year and trying to navigate those pieces and try to figure out what we can do.
what's what, okay. Okay, well, thank you, because I know that's a lot of work, okay.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I'll echo, thank you for all the hard work you're doing. I know personally you're instituting some new procedures and things to try to help out, and so I'm really hoping that'll work and appreciate your leadership out there.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Last, Mr. Vest.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Just looking for approval for additional appropriations for 1161 for it's carryover money of $5,000 into the partner supplies and $20,000 into discretionary, which is money that we grant out to other entities. So we had some extra money left over from last year and just looking to appropriate it. Any questions for me?
How are you doing?
Doing good.
How's the health department doing?
It's doing good.
Good.
Yep. Cruising right along.
Thank you.
That's the way you like it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The change in the funding, has that hit you?
You know, it did. So we had to increase our budget for 1159, the health fund, and so we will be running our balance down in 1159. So that's something we'll have to address
Yep.
at some point, our levy. But,
The amounts, okay.
yeah, and we did have to let a few people go last year that we hired in because they gave us the money and then took it away within like a year. So
And that, as far as I know, it'll be the same amount of funding in '27 as we have this year in '26. But we don't know anything more than that. So it could go back up in '28, or it could continue to go down. It's hard telling.
We know that feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah, we feel the same way.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you for working through all the changes and then the changes again, okay?
thank you. All right, thanks.
Thank you, James. All right, with that, is there any comments, questions, discussions, or motions on these additional appropriations?
Mr. President, I move we approve these additional appropriations for March as presented.
Second,
Okay, thank you, Frank. Motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Faulkner and Councilwoman Lake. All those in favor of approval of the ordinance, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Additional appropriations carry. All right, so looks like we have no transfers tonight. The next item on the agenda are the salary ordinance amendments.
Ordinance number 2026-HCCO-12, salary ordinance amendments. An ordinance amending and increasing staffing and salary authorization to be paid county employees for the calendar year effective January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2026, as originally approved for the year 2026, except where otherwise noted. Be it ordained by the Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for the said fiscal year, the following salary amendments are approved as additional changes to the basic salary ordinance for the same fiscal year. Necessary personal services appropriations have been approved previously to support the required expenditure of necessary funds. County General Fund, probation, $9,611. Community Corrections Fund, full-time detention officer, $6. Lit Public Safety PSAP Fund, dispatcher reduction, $31,560. FICA reduction, $2,414.34. Perf reduction, $1,893.60. Insurance, $23,699 reduction, sorry. State 911 Fund, dispatcher, $38,153.84. FICA, $2,918.77. Perf, $5,418. Insurance, $23,699. Adult Probation Case Manager Grant Fund, probation officer, $9,611.
Thank you very much. And I failed to mention that this is similar to the additional appropriations we just did, that there are some items in here from January and February. We are not making a motion or voting on that because those have already been taken care of. This just meets the advertisement requirement for the, is it DLGF? Yeah, so. Any other questions, comments, or discussion on the amendments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the ordinance, the salary ordinance as presented.
All right.
Second.
Motion's been properly made by Councilman Alexander and seconded by Councilman Roberts. All those in favor, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Salary ordinance amendment carries. All right, is there any old business before the council tonight? Is there any new business? I see somebody out there who wants to talk new business. Come on up.
Hi, Mandy.
Afternoon. It's that time of year
Yep.
to appoint the PBO members for you guys. So, first one is a reappointment of Susie Woolley. You guys have any questions? Second one is a reappointment for Sheila Pullen. And lastly, the new appointment of Sharice Goodnight. And that would be the final three for the PBO board. The council appoints two, and that'll be our 5 board members.
Okay, do you need individual motions on those or
I don't
just
know.
the slate? Alan, what would you prefer?
Individual motion.
Okay,
All right, let's start with Susie, who I said first.
okay. Do I hear any motions on Susie Woolley to be reappointed to the PETA BOA Board?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, so I've got a motion by Councilman Faulkner, seconded by Councilwoman Lake. Sorry, Tim. All those in favor of reappointing Susie Woolley to the PETA BOA Board, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Oh, congratulations, Susie. All right, next one I heard was Sheila Pullen.
Sheila Pullen?
Is there anybody who wants to make a motion for her to be reappointed to the PETA BOA Board?
Make a motion, Mr. President, to approve as presented.
All right, made by Councilman Roberts, seconded by Councilman Cuthbert. I heard you sneak in there. All those in favor of Sheila Pullen to be reappointed to the PETA BOA Board, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Sheila. And the last one I heard was Sharice Goodnight?
Yep.
Sweet. Is there anybody that wants to make a motion for her? To be reappointed, or it's
She's
a
a new
a new appointment to the PETA BOA Board?
Move to approve.
Sharice.
All right, I have a motion to approve Sharice Goodnight to the PETA BOA Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Properly, the motion's been made by Councilwoman Lake and seconded by Councilman Sanders. All those in favor of Sharice Goodnight's appointment, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Sharice.
Thanks, that's all I have.
All right, do you need signatures from us on that? Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Mindy.
Hey, Mandy.
Is there any other council business for the good of the cause tonight?
So just a reminder, we have the AIC regional meetings, and I think the one for our region is scheduled for Tuesday, April 14th.
That's correct.
It's a little distance away, it's up in Rensselaer. But a couple of us are planning to go, and if anybody else wants to go with us that's available that night, I may have room for 2 or 3 people in my wife's vehicle.
Yeah, thank you, Frank, I appreciate that, and I will probably be a game time decision that day, but we'll see, so.
I'm gonna try to go, Frank, so, but somebody can sit on my lap if they want to.
Okay, so just a couple other things we're working on. There's a couple more tweaks that need to be, I think, fixed for the 2026 budget items, so we'll be delving into those in the coming months, I think. Also trying to work on understanding the new law changes from the State House and how that will impact us going forward in 2027 and beyond. So probably will dive into that more this summer, once we get some smarter people than me to understand that. And then Frank talked about the district meeting. So yeah, the next regular council meeting is scheduled for April 28th, right here at 4 p.m. Is there anybody else that has anything else for the good of the cause?
The only thing that I could think of is that, as you know, we're in election time, and there are people who are having fundraisers and meetings going on. This is a good time to get yourself acclimated and acquainted with the candidates so that you know the ones who are running. It's a crazy time, and we've got some good candidates running, so I think we need to go out there and see what's going on.
Agreed. It's good to go out and meet and visit and see what you can learn, so. All right, with that, I'll take a motion for adjournment of the meeting.
So moved. Second.
All right, motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Sanders and Councilman Roberts. All those in favor of adjournment, assign aye.
Aye.
All those